Hey everybody, and welcome to episode 6 of
Another Black Podcast.
I'm your host Tasha Armstead.
And I'm Joel Armstead.
And together we are
the Armsteads.
You know what's funny about that intro?
What?
The fact that when we were watching podcasts and other people's videos, we would always hear them have this YouTube opening jingle. Yeah. And we would always be so what's our jingle gonna be?
And we never did.
And then we never had one.
Yeah, so
and then we accidentally have one now. I just think that's kind of
well, it's not pre-recorded, but which would make it easier, so we wouldn't have to say this every single time.
I mean, look, it's a part of our bootleg process of trying to stay consistent and do this every week. Okay?
So for those of you who can't see us, because you're probably just listening, we're currently just chilling. We in our chill gear. She got her bonnet on. I got my do-rag on. Got the taco meat out.
I know. I was trying to let you cover up your taco meat.
Well, I'm proud of my taco meat. I'm a man.
Look, I think your taco meat at times can be sexy.
Oh, at times. Oh, excuse me.
Sometimes
me.
I like to rub up on the taco meat. Sometimes it's a little bit much.
So right now would qualify as a little bit much?
No, it's a little sexy. Got a little cleavage going on, you know what I'm saying? Got your chest all out. I see you, brother.
Whatever.
You trying to turn me on, I see it.
Uh-huh.
You know, I always make you blush.
I wasn't blushing.
Uh-huh.
I don't even know how to do that.
When we roll this back, we gonna see that you was
I don't
blushing.
even know how to do that. I don't even know how to spell that.
Okay, you probably don't know how to spell it, but but you know how to do it. Because you just turned away when I was talking to you, so.
Okay.
Anyways.
I'll let you have that.
Let's start off with you, sir. How was your week?
Well, my week was pretty good, actually. I just got my updated headshots back. They were great.
They were fire.
Again, I want to remind everyone, because I got Brandon Hicks. So on Instagram, it's at Brandon Hicks. If you ever want to check him out, use him as a photographer. He's really good at taking the melanated black folks pictures.
Ain't all black folks melanated, baby?
Are we gonna do this all night?
Just saying.
So that was that, and then I went to an intro, sort of a. Not free trial, but you know how when you in acting class you can audit acting class. Some certain acting classes you can audit them where you kind of sit and see what's going on. But the one that I went to, which was Leslie Kahn, they don't allow you to audit. You have to participate, which I thought was kind of cool. And actually, one of my friends already goes there, and so which he'd been trying to get me to go there for a while,
a long time.
But I finally got myself together, so I went down to check it out, and it was amazing. It was really dope. I learned so much just in that one little work session it was a few hours than any other acting class I had ever been in. So I just want to say that was dope, and I will be attending there once I save up the coin to go.
Get these funds up a little bit.
So that's that. And then church was a lot. It was really good.
It was crazy too, because it was after that Saturday of going to the class.
Yeah.
And I'll just say this, we always talk about back in college, at that age of between 22 and 23, 24.
Right.
And you're in school, and sometimes you'll see people drop out and come back to school.
You mean me?
No.
Because that's what I did.
I'm talking about you. I'm just talking about I forgot what his name was. I'm not going to say his name on the podcast, obviously.
So, yeah.
But, you know what I'm talking about.
Me. Let's just say Joel.
No, I'm not talking about you, Joel. I'm not talking about you. I'm just talking about, there are a few people that were, older and came back to college, or had dropped out and came back to school to finish. And yes, and then you.
Yeah, okay. Also me. I did it too.
And, basically, it was always a difference in their work ethic when they were coming back. It's they were taking it super serious. They was not playing around in these classes. I mean, they were they were acing these tests. They was turning everything in on time.
You want to know?
They were not fucking around.
But you want to know? You want to know what the secret is to that? Since I can speak on it.
What?
So it's a different vibe. Like you get up there and you realize you don't know anybody. There's literally no distractions from you doing what you need to do. And I only had 1 year to just finish because I had dropped out in my senior year. But it was like, when I got up there, I didn't have nobody in my way. I would have been the only person in my way.
Right.
And it was like, it was refreshing to not know anyone and to just be up there and to just do my work and to just go to class. And I had a full-time job.
And you had a whole family.
A whole family. And it was just like, it was actually the best experience I had as a college student as opposed to being on campus partying all the time. With all your friends and stuff. With all my LBs and all my friends and stuff like that. It was more fun being responsible. So I wish I would have known how fun being responsible is.
You get up my nerves.
Yeah, it was dope though to be up there and to just finally finish. I had
and do good.
Yeah, and I was doing good too. I was like, who is this guy up here achieving in every field of human endeavor? Yeah. But yeah, so
but
it's like
I brought that up though to say that like when you come back to something after having to leave it for whatever the reasons were. And you have to come back to it, and you're coming back to it because it's important for you to finish.
Right.
And you're coming back to it because it's like you are on a mission, and shit gonna stop you from accomplishing your goal. Right. So you're gonna come back and like it's gonna mean something to you.
Well, you know what? I mean? A wise man once said, "Sometimes you gotta go away to make it come back."
Hell yeah! And I'm like,
and you know who that was?
Oh, who?
Beanie Siegel.
Okay.
That's true though. Sometimes you gotta go away to make a comeback. He was right.
This is true. He was right.
I had to go away, and then I came right on back.
Now, are you talking about college? Or you talking about acting class stuff?
No, well, both, I guess. So
my whole point in bringing this up was that, like, I felt so happy for you on Saturday because I was like, yo, like. He finally gets this moment again, you
finally.
know.
This time it's got to stick though. Like I ain't got no more. After
some years of burying your dreams, and after some years of like trying to convince yourself otherwise of your dreams, and trying to make other things work, you know. And it was just like, but I feel like I'm still setting this down. So to see you.
You know what it's called?
Do this and go after this again. It's just like it's so refreshing to me.
You know what that's called? It's called a burning desire. Like I remember, I was listening to this one sermon T.D. Jakes had one time, and he was talking about when you have a burning desire to do something, no matter how much you try to escape it, it never leaves you. Like you never are satisfied with life until you do it. And it's like, it's one of those things where it doesn't matter how old you are. You could be 75, and the fact that you never did what God placed on you to do in the depths of your soul, it's like it's a burning desire that you can't escape. And if you don't do it, you're gonna die so unfulfilled, like that it's gonna be sad. Like basically you allow your life to pass you without trying. At least I'd rather try and fail than to not know how something would have went, because at least if you try and you fail, no one can take that from you. Yeah. Because not everything is promised. I mean, just because you may have a goal or you may want to do something, it doesn't mean that it's promised to you. But on the flip side of that, though, if you're willing to bet everything you have on pursuing that and giving up everything you got to do it, I feel like what I believe truly is that it's going to happen for you. It may take a while, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen for you, because what you're doing is you're showing God how bad you really want it, or the universe, or however you want to hear it. It's like you're showing the powers that be that this is what you really want. You're serious, and you're willing to sacrifice to make it happen.
And it's also cause and effect. Yeah. It's like, because you are doing this and going after this, it has no choice but to work.
Exactly. And now that, you know what, that's also in that book Think and Grow Rich too. He talks about, Napoleon Hill talks about that. Like he literally, like he says, like when you sacrifice something super important, like your livelihood, right, to pursue a dream or a career goal or whatever it is, some kind of ambition that you have, right, it's inevitable that it's going to work, because the way the universe works is, it's like how they say, all things work together for your good. I forget which scripture that is, but it's what that really means is like God wants you to win. Like the universe wants you to win. So once you're on the right path, to fulfilling your destiny, like things start moving out of your way to allow it to happen, no matter how crazy the situation looks.
And I feel like that's what I saw happening, not only for you, but like I had a whole awakening this weekend too.
Yeah.
This past weekend was so good and so like hard all at the same time. Yeah. Like your girl went through a whole emotional roller coaster from like Friday to Sunday.
Right.
And as hard as it was the best thing to ever happen to me. Mm-hmm. Like, I had to reckon with some shit I was dealing with, and I didn't realize how long I've been building excuses for myself. Mm-hmm. And like, as hard as people may think I work or I do all these things, there's a big difference between being busy and being productive.
Right.
And for a very long time, I've been busy as hell.
Yeah.
I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm helping this person with their project. Mm-hmm. I'm helping this person with their... I'm doing this at work. I'm a part of this organization. And then it's like you're sitting back and you're like seeing your life kind of like start to pass you by. And you're like, but wait a minute, I'm doing shit. So why am I still not where I want to be? Right. And I'm like,
it's because you're doing shit. You're not like specifically doing this one thing.
And you think you're being intentional. Like you think you're doing stuff on purpose. But it's like you're not walking in your purpose. You're just doing things as far as you believe on purpose because you mean to do them. Right. But it doesn't have an intention behind it that's connected to your absolute soul purpose.
Right.
So I had to like get down to the bottom of like, why was I aware that I'm doing a lot of stuff? I'm stretched. Even though I'm slowing down, I still have a lot on my plate. And it doesn't point back to me. I don't feel like I'm getting anywhere. Right. I don't feel like I'm building. What am I supposed to do? And so, after, you leaving your job and me still feeling like, okay, I'm still at work. Like, how do I maneuver from this space? Because I don't want to feel stuck. I don't want to feel like I don't have another option other than to be here. What am I supposed to do?
Right.
And we had a long discussion. And I was just telling Joel, like, yo, I'm tired. Like, I feel like I deserve to get a fucking break. Like, I feel like I've been, holding shit down for, like, not just this entire marriage, but, like, my whole goddamn life. Like, I feel like I deserve a break. Right. I feel like I should not have to struggle no more. I shouldn't have to be broke no more.
Right.
I shouldn't have to, like, shit should come easy for me at some point in my life. Like, when do I get a chance to win?
Right.
And it's like, you don't get a chance to win.
Right.
You have to earn every win you get. And you don't get a break sometimes. You have to earn those breaks. And you started talking to me about, like, what are you willing to sacrifice for your dreams? I literally had to sit here and start making choices and decisions.
Well, not right away. Like, you wasn't trying to hear that.
No, I wasn't. I was not trying to hear it.
You was like,
this is corny. I'm like...
But see, to be honest with you, like,
that was hard for me.
What it really is this. Like, I think just humans by nature have a sense of entitlement, right? And we feel like just because we might have been through stuff or we had a hard life or whatever the case may be, right? Whatever our insert reasons why we convince ourselves we deserve to win, right? We have a sense of entitlement because we use that toxic word deserve. And I remember I was listening to something that David Goggins was saying, and he was like, see, you got to start being honest with yourself. He's like, first of all, you deserve nothing. Like, you have to work for everything that you get. Like, nothing is going to just be handed to you. No one's going to just help you and fix all your problems. Like, you got to, like, really do some soul searching and take responsibility for, like, how you've been moving. And when I was saying that to you, I was really saying it from a place of me realizing it. Like, I had realized, like, I hadn't been out here pursuing my dreams all this time. I thought I was. Like, sometimes you can trick yourself into thinking you're doing something, but you're really not, or you might be doing it at a pace that's so slow that it's like not doing it at all. And so when I was saying, like, you have to decide, like, what you're willing to give up. Like, in my case, I was willing to give up financial stability, security. And, when I said, what are you willing to give up to you? It was because, you have your own set of dreams. It's not like you're just a person that you're fine with just working a 9 to 5 and that's it, right? If that's what you wanted and that's what your life was, I would have never said that. But because I know that you have your own desires, you have to look at life differently now. Like, so I have to do this. I have to basically be willing to do whatever it takes to win, like within the confines of morality, obviously. But I'm saying, like, you got to be willing to do things that you don't want to do, that you're not comfortable with, that you're not accustomed to, you may not have experience with, you may never thought of, you may never wanted to. But if that's what it cost you to get to your win, that's what you got to do. It's kind of like they say, like, you got to pay the cost to be the boss. That statement is so true, because I'm sure, like, there's a lot of, like, think about any rapper that ever talks about how they had to do all this crazy stuff just to win. And that don't be sounding like something you want to do. Talking about sleeping in cars, selling drugs, going to jail, get robbing people. Like, that's not, like, you know what I'm saying?
Like, I'm signing up for that?
You like, nah, I'm not necessarily trying to sleep in my car. I'm not trying to be a scammer. I'm not trying to be a booster. I'm just trying to make an honest living.
That's why they
paid
out here in these streets.
And so it's like, now yes, I use some bad examples to highlight, like, what people's sacrifices were. But the point I'm making is, for a person who has a dream, your sacrifice may be having a normal job. You may have to be an entrepreneur just to have a dream, just to make your dreams work. I want to speak on that for a second. You know what I'm saying?
So one of the people that I really look up to, her name is Mia Ray. Mm-hmm. She has a fashion lifestyle blog and like brand called Lifestyle. Glamaholic Lifestyle, I think it's called. Mm-hmm. But I've literally seen her build from nothing, and I'm sitting here listening to her when she like did some crazy sales, I want to say for Black Friday. Mm-hmm. And she was just talking, like, she did one of those super cent things where, like, she sold out crazy out of her merchandise. And I just remember her talking about, like, being an entrepreneur for all these years, taking care of her son, living in her mother's house, starting her business from there, starting with just one tote bag, like going to different friends and selling the tote bag, like all her entire process of trying to outsource and doing all of this stuff with no job, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I was baffled, because I was like, how is she doing all of this with no job? Because I too have had no job, and I too have been on the county and had to swipe my EBT card, and I too have. But it's also about thought process. It's also about mindset. So, like, you left your job, and you're technically now you're an independent contractor. You're working for yourself. You're going to make that work.
Right.
And then
I don't have a choice.
You don't have a choice. Yeah. And then you're not doing this to bullshit with your life.
No.
You're not doing this to be on the county and get welfare.
No, even though let me tell you something. I had never had a better diet than when I had that black card. Yes. That EBT card. Let me tell you something. I ate better having that than I ever have in my entire life. So there's no shame in my game. I will gladly go and get one. No, again, you're not about to tell people that. Man, after you done work for the county. Tasha, but check this out. Imagine how dope it would be, right? See, I don't even want to say this, but I'm going to say it.
Don't say it.
Imagine how dope it would be
Joel.
To go to work at a place, right? Leave there, come back, need them again, not need them no more because you took your experiences and put it on television. Imagine being able to do that. I'm saying something without saying something.
But we're not going to go apply for the county, okay? If we don't have to.
Well, you ain't got to, sis. Okay. They're just going to serve you with them papers.
Y'all want to know what funny part about this story, y'all? I remember years ago, we first had Sanaya. And that was the first time we ever had to go to the county office. And this guy here did not want to go. I had to, like, drag him down there.
You know
Wait a minute. I'm not saying like I'm proud or anything. I'm saying we were broke.
No, I'm gonna tell you why.
And I was like, we gotta do something.
Because
and Joe's like, I ain't going to get on the county. I'm like, oh, so you're not gonna get a car? He's like, I'm like, well, listen, sir, I'm gonna have to go because we're on our last box of diapers.
Tasha, okay. So we were living in Philly. And going to the county in Philly is like, that's one of the most depressing experiences you could ever go through. First of all, you walk in there, it looks like death. Like, it looks like niggas is doing bad. At least in LA, it's like palm trees. It's
glass
a mirage.
windows.
At least trick me into thinking my life ain't this bad. At least try.
So
it's like then it be cold. Then it's like they got the job.
Oh my
club.
God. Okay, so wait, this is the funniest story ever. So when we went to go apply for the county out there, I'll never forget sit down. And my mom was on county growing up, and I was a food stamp kid. Like my mom.
I wasn't. So that was another thing too. Like not growing up like that. You're like, wait, how did I end up like this?
So like this, which just excuse me, I think I turned out quite all right, and I was going to Catholic school, baby. What you mean? And I had a good GPA.
What does Catholic school mean?
I'm saying, look, hey, my mom, yes, but she made it happen. That's how you do it.
Well, I'm not understanding. What does Catholic school have to do with it?
Because saying, I had tuition. Okay, my mom was on the county. She also did hair. She made it work. She was an entrepreneur.
I'm trying to figure out what is the point that you're making.
Because you was like, yeah, I ain't trying to see my life go down like this, and I'm like,
at the time, okay, that's fine, Tasha. That's you have the luxury of hindsight, right? Mm-hmm. So in that moment, I was feeling like, damn, I failed my family as the head of the household to be in this place currently. And then I figured out that you could eat how you want to eat. So I was like, you know what? This ain't that bad. Because before I had this, I was doing bad. Now,
I'll never forget that first drop of EBT. Them food stamps?
First of all, no.
First drop, because when you get the first drop, it's like the first month. It's like the month prior when you first apply.
What's crazy is we was getting like $500. Like
that's
it was
a lot of money when you ain't got.
We weren't even able to spend it all the time. Like when we got it,
we had rollover food stamps. Who do that?
I was like, I think that's why I was like, dang, I could see how people can get stuck on the county for like their whole life because. You're like when you take help that's like it's not like help with intention, like someone's teaching you how to do something that's going to make you eat forever. When you take a handout, and I hate to say it like that, but that's kind of like what it is. It gives you the false sense of again entitlement. So then you don't do things for yourself to like get yourself out of that position, and you could easily be stuck on that for like a long time if you don't really think about it. But
the crazy part about that experience was like, I don't know, man. I feel like that was one of those moments that like really made us.
Oh, for sure.
Because we had to go get on accounting as a family. We wasn't on assistance for no more than maybe like 2 or 3 months. Like
I know that was crazy. Like now looking back, it was quick.
It was quick. We started
because then I started working.
But we were the people that was like actually taking the program serious.
We went to the job club.
So it was like, all right, you gonna have job club? And we was like, what's job club? Job club sound like some shit. That's what it. Yo, you feel like you failed in life.
Check this out.
Job club.
Remember how we was just saying sometimes you got to go away to make a comeback, right? Mm-hmm. So at that time that was when I was a dropout. I was a college dropout at that time, right? I hadn't gone back, right? But that experience forced me to go and finish school. Tasha had already finished her degree. She was already done.
I had just finished. I was
the point I'm making is no. The point listen to the point I'm making. You had graduated college. I had not finished because I had kind of gave up like, you know what, I'm done, whatever, right? I went and finished my degree and we were then in a better place, which launched us to move out here. Yep. You see what I'm saying? It was like, we had to take a L for a time to get ourselves together. And then I did my last little year of school and then we was out and then everything basically trended up. Like sometimes I think too, like you always have to look at your years, right? You got to look at where you were at the beginning of the year prior and you got to compare it to where you are now. And sometimes like we take those small wins each time, each month, each week, right? Each year, right? Because it may seem small. We take those for granted because we're comparing it to someone else. And then we'd be like, man, my life ain't never changed. But then you got to remember, like, bro, you might have just been on welfare a year ago. Now you got a college degree and a whole job and you moved to a new city.
And you may not be where you want, but you're damn sure in a better place than you were.
Yeah. My dad used to always say, like, you never want to be in the same position every year. Like every year you want to progress, right?
And every year we have.
And we have. It's not like we haven't been able to have the life we wanted per se, but part of being able to keep going is to look back and count your blessings and look at the progress you've made.
And this is crazy too, because sometimes I think this is what I meant by like I had to realize like that I have to work really, really hard for the shit that I want. And I also have to have laser focus on what I want. And I also have to make myself primarily available for myself. And I can't get so caught up on the past.
Right.
And what I experienced in the past, disappointments in the past.
Right.
Setbacks of the past, that I'm not able to let go of that and surrender to the present so that I can birth a whole new future. And that was my weekend. Like, I feel like I've been shedding off this dead weight for a very long time. But I feel like this past weekend was like, and I'm sure there are going to be more.
Of course, because it's constant work in progress.
But I felt like this weekend was the first time I had to really recognize that my mind and the things that come out of my mouth and the excuses that I've given myself to like give myself a valid reason for not moving forward in the areas of my life that I want to. Man, you gotta have grit. You gotta push through. You gotta have a lot more endurance and perseverance than that, because the people that you look at that have made it, that have done what you done and did it with like children, or did it, married, or did it with a job, or, did it as a single person, like whatever the stakes are for that person, they had to push through whatever that was.
You know what? That reminds me of something I was talking to Sanaya about the other day, and I was telling her about how you can't let your past identify you. Like, and this is crazy. Like, I said to her, I was like, I said, we don't have a choice but to like get over our past and move forward, right? Like, our past is so definite that even if you went back in time and changed it, you would ruin your whole life. Like, you may erase a sibling, erase a parent, right? You may not yourself exist, right? And I was like, that's how definite the past is. It's so definite that you don't have a choice but to move on and decide what kind of future you want. Like, that's why they say, like, let go of things that you can't change. Like, your past does not define you. When they talk about people who have like had a rough life, you know what I'm saying, and they don't feel like they deserve to win, it's like that's really just your past clinging to you like a sponge. I mean, not like a sponge, it's like slime that clings to you, and when you go back there, it's like being in the upside down. When you go into
everybody
it,
don't know what the upside down is.
Stranger Things. Well, enough people should watch it. Stranger Things. The upside down. When you go into the upside down, each time you go in there, you come back with something messed up. That's like going back into your past. When you go back to your past and you keep dwelling on it, you come back messed up instead of healed. When you focus on the future, you have that tunnel vision, you're inevitably going to change your life.
Sometimes you don't even know that you're stuck in the past.
Of course.
Sometimes you feel
because that's the way the past is designed.
Yeah,
it's designed to keep you confused. Think about it.
Yes, but it's also no difference than like, okay, like when people say sometimes when you want to be successful, you gotta like change your environment. You gotta like read. You gotta change your mind. Change the people that you talk to or whatever. They'll just tell you it's a lot of changing that's gonna be taking place. Yeah. If you want something different to take place in your life. Right. And so I just realized that like some people like myself, I come from a family background where house can be overwhelmingly crazy, right? So we know cleanliness is next to godliness, and when you're next to God, you have a clear mind, clear focus, right? My mom, she's like borderline hoarder status, okay? Like, sis need help, okay? And I don't know how to help her.
Well, how thin is that line? Because it ain't really borderline. It's pretty much what it is.
Man, it's crazy over there. And
it's not it's not borderline.
And it's like she's real, like, you can tell my mom is just not settled or calm or have peace in her life, but I also know it's very much so tied to how she keeps her surroundings, and how she thinks about things. She'll always say, like, she'll tell me to don't say what you can't do and what's not gonna happen and what God can't do for you, but then she's constantly telling me what she can't do and what she needs help with. Yeah. So even though I'm thinking that, oh, that's my mom, I'm nothing like my mom, but like you do pick up on that stuff, and the only reason why I'm probably as like successful as I've been in life is because I've like separated myself from that mindset, but there are still traits of that I exhibit at times, and I think I just got really upset about the fact that my life wasn't where I wanted to be. And I feel like I give so much to you and the kids and everybody. And I'm just like, why is it that I feel like I deserve for stuff to go good for me, and I shouldn't have to keep working hard like this with you guys.
Right.
Because I feel like this is like a big portion of what's holding me back. And then I recognize that's an excuse.
Yeah, it's just a
mindset. No, it's all made up in your head, boo boo.
Because then you
can be tired, but guess what? It's just like you being tired from your job, right? You know you're not quitting your job right at this point in time, right? Or you start your own business, right?
Right.
It can be hard. But does that mean tomorrow you're going to quit or you're going to give up? No, you're going to put your clothes on, you're going to get up, you're going to do what you need to do. But it's out of necessity because this is your livelihood. But we don't think about it that way when it comes to our dreams.
Well, and then also
it's easy to pick it up and put it down.
You can always point to someone with similar circumstance that doesn't use the excuses you use.
Right.
It's like we oftentimes compare ourselves on some like, man, their life is so much better than mine, and man, if I only didn't have this, or if I didn't have kids, or if I was single, we always talk about like if we didn't have something that just is what it is, right? And then you can easily go on the internet, find someone with damn near the identical circumstances as you, not using those excuses. If anything, they're like, man, I'm so blessed to have a wife or a husband. I'm so blessed to have kids. I'm so blessed to have a job, or I'm so blessed to have.
It's all about how you're looking at it.
It's your mindset.
My mentality.
Yeah. But it's also too like sometimes like we're just like we inherit thinking of our parents and maybe how they came off to us. Sometimes we inherit thinking from our friends that we hung around. Sometimes we inherit thinking that we developed from trauma. And it's like at the end of the day, part of like the reason why we're talking about letting go of the past is because like that's the only way that you're gonna move forward. Yeah. Like you kind of literally have to like, I don't want to say like pretend like it never happened. I'm just saying allow yourself the grace and understanding that it's over with. Yeah, and it's nothing that you can do. It's nothing you can do to change it. And technically it's kind of what shaped you and made you who you are and made you special. And also you didn't go through it for no reason, because God never makes mistakes and he always uses people's experiences to bless somebody else's life.
And maybe it's just time for you to grow your spirituality.
Yeah, for sure.
Like maybe there's some things that you have to just reckon with spiritually. And that's what page I've been on. Like, how can I grow myself up in the spirit world? Because me being connected and aligned spiritually is what gets me not only balanced. First of all, me having a better awareness of spirituality and a better understanding of it has allowed me to understand that I'm unbalanced.
Right.
You can be unbalanced and not even know.
Right.
Like, it's like when they say, oh, your chakras are being overworked.
Right.
Or
they're not aligned.
You're not aligned.
Right.
Or somebody, or like in the church we say, oh, I'm trying to get back close to God.
Right.
I'm trying to
even
get
though
right.
You was never away from
I'm
him.
trying to get right with God. And it's like, no, for real, you're just trying to get balanced. You're trying to get in a good place where you're not teetering to the bad nor to good side, just right in the middle. And you're able to like, sail through life and go through your hardships and go through your good times and all that stuff, and not allow those things to make or break your self-esteem or how you see things or how you feel about yourself or your life or each other.
Right.
Like, you're actually able to navigate your problems without like, literally, I'll be so up and down sometimes. It'd be like, today's a good day, and then tomorrow's fucked up day.
Yeah,
and it's like, it'd be that up and down, and it's like, no, you got to get that shit under control. You have got to get balanced.
Well, you know what? Yes, you do have to get it under control, but I think too, what you have to understand is that being a human being, it's impossible to have it all together all the time. Really, what you need is tools to talk yourself back up. Like, right. I remember this one time I was driving, and I was still working at this time, but I was driving for extra money, and I had just this big ball of depression just came over me. And I was just like, damn, like, why do I feel so bad right now? And it was like, I just had kept thinking all these like messed up thoughts and all this like depressive talk. And it was around the time that I had started listening to Ray Lewis's Affirmations for Greatness. And so I was like, you know what? I turned it on, right? And just hearing it, like thinking it, saying it mentally and verbally, it was like the cloud went away. It was like how in the summertime it can rain real fast, but then it'll stop and go away and then the sun comes out. It was literally like that. And it's all because sometimes we don't have the tools always to work ourselves through feelings and emotions, because feelings and emotions are inevitable. That's the reason why they tell you, you know, your subconscious mind is very powerful and it can dictate how you feel. So when you constantly pour into yourself and say, I am great, I am special, I am talented, I am smart, blah, 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 insert all the positive stuff, you start believing it. And you'll less and less have those times where you feel really bad, because those bad times are really tied to partially you still not letting go and judging your situation, but then also you not accessing the tools that you need to help yourself feel better. Like literally, when I was like, bro, like how is it that I feel great?
Can I tell you something? Yeah. I used to get anxiety when I would post things on Instagram sometimes. I would get anxiety and overthink things like, with this like something for the mama's page. I literally had it for like 6 months and I wouldn't post anything because I was like, well, what do I post first? And I'm just thinking
I don't feel like I'm qualified to talk. Yeah, like we're always talking ourselves out of something.
And it's also too because I'm trying to like think about the future. Like, well, what am I gonna post tomorrow and next week? Yeah. And then, but if I post this, what's the follow up gonna be? And I decided over the weekend that not only am I letting go of all my excuses, when I allowed myself to do that, I said, you know what? I'm letting go of convincing myself that I'm not going to fully walk in my purpose, whether it makes sense or not. Right. I realized that, one,
it makes sense to whom?
Like, to me.
If it makes sense to you.
No, to me. Because what happened to me was, I had Tanaya very young. So, what did I have her? Like 20, right?
So you've been a mom my whole life. I went from
teenage. My friend Kendra said, "Girl, you went from a teenager to being a mother," and I didn't think about it like that. I never thought about it like that. So in my experience, there's a lot of growing up and becoming a mother, and although I was trying to keep my baby safe and make the right decisions for her, for my future, and for her future. There's an immature time frame of your life where it's like you're not maturing in exactly who you want to be and knowing exactly who you are and what are your likes and dislikes and all those things. Right. And so I realized like, okay. So how did I get down this path of like storytelling? Like I love storytelling. So I love writing stories, but then I love acting out. I love being funny. And I'm like, there's these parts of me that I love embracing in real life. But when it comes to professionalism, I've just never identified with it. And I had to come to terms like, hey, Tasha, yes, you're 33 years old and you want to pursue an acting career and you would like to be serious about it. You have convinced yourself, not that I'm not supposed to tell stories and write stories. I believe that is a part of my calling as well. I also believe that being, in some respect, a comedian is in my path as well. But I also understand it gets murky when you're trying to pursue more than one dream at one time. But it is okay to embrace all the different gifts that you have, and do it in a way in which you're not like getting in your own way. And so I realized that I had buried the idea of me becoming an actress years ago because of gaining weight, as having her, being pregnant, and just feeling like, well, it's not going to happen for me, or looking in the mirror and saying, I'm not pretty enough, or I don't think this is ever going to be something that people will see in me. But it's not about what people see in you. It's about what you see in you. And how can I have two daughters that I'm telling every day, you can be whatever you want to be when you grow up. You're the most beautiful girl in the world. Right. You're the most prettiest brown girl. Like, you know what I'm saying? How embrace your melanin, embrace this of your curls and this and that. And I don't believe that for myself. Right. They don't see me taking care of myself.
Sometimes
loving on myself.
I'm sorry. Sometimes dreams can be like mad dormant. Cause like when I was a little boy, like I still do. I watch a lot of TV, a lot of like television and film. Like I watch a lot, right? And when I was little, that's all I used to do. And so sometimes when I would watch it, I used to like imagine myself as the characters. Like, oh, I could see myself if I was that dude, I would do this.
Never forget.
And it was crazy because like, but over time, like it started like being like a thing. Like, man, like I could see myself doing this. Like, and I couldn't understand like why I kept feeling like that because I never like knew anyone that was in entertainment or was an actor or whatever. Like I didn't have nothing to like point to and say it's possible, right? It didn't seem real. And so then when I got out here, I'm like, okay, I could do this. Like this could happen. You know what I'm saying? And it took a long time for me to like accept it and verbally say it because I guess I was just insecure about my own self. Like, man, how I'm going to do all that? I don't know how to do all that. Like you could want something, you could really see yourself doing something, but sometimes you could talk yourself out of it just because of what you know, right? Sometimes we're victims of like what we know, and that's why they always say like you gotta be careful who you hang around, and you gotta always educate yourself about.
Or you might have had somebody that killed your dream,
right? Or you had somebody that killed your dream too. But I'm just saying, like the point I'm saying is, if all you hung out with was comedians, right? Knowing that you wanted to be a comedian, right? Just here's an example: if all you hung out with was comedians, that dream for you seems very possible. If all I ever hung out with was actors or writers or whatever, right? That dream for me is mad possible, right?
Right.
But if all you hang out with is a depressed parent, an angry parent, or a bitter, or friends that don't share those same dreams, or
small-minded,
maybe you feel like you're not qualified to do it because of your circumstance, and you're a mom. You start telling yourself all those lies. Or I'm a mom. Or I'm a dad, or I'm a husband.
Oh, the narrative.
Like the narrative, right? And that's why, because your subconscious mind, like subconsciously, our brains are trained to keep us away from things that we're not used to, that we may deem as unsafe. Like that's a scientific fact. Like I don't know don't ask me the article, but it is a fact. And it's like, but if you your whole life grew up around nothing but that, you would think that's mad possible. Like, it wouldn't be nothing for you to say, yeah. So when I graduate high school, I'm gonna just start doing comedy, and that's just gonna be my life, right? And that would be what it is. You wouldn't feel like you had to like go to college and work and appease like a tradition that might have been in your family, or maybe be the first person to do something, all that pressure, and that might not even be something that you ever wanted, right? So it's really just about like what's being fed to you on a daily basis. You only felt like that because you didn't have nothing to point to see this is possible.
And sometimes you're that person. Yeah. Like I remember talking to a friend, Kendra, and she was saying like, I feel like there's so much greatness inside of you. And she said, you're looking for a blueprint, but you are the blueprint. Like you're looking for someone to be the example and to show you, what this is supposed to look like for you, lead you the way, hold your hand. And you the first one in your family to do this. That person ain't coming. You got to be that person.
Right.
So when you are a trailblazer in your life, you have to be the brave one to go out there and do it. And you have to seek the knowledge, the wisdom, the understanding, all those things so that you can be successful in doing so.
Well, because also, too, it was like we were talking about the other day when I said sometimes I said, now imagine when everything we actually prayed for comes to fruition, right? It's not so much about like, oh, finally be able to say like, yeah, I did it. It's really just about showing your kids, man, this is possible. Showing your family that may have thought a certain way, this was possible because I did it. So now, like, and I was saying, look at the Wayans, right? I was like, I guarantee you, it wasn't until Keenan went first, right? And he showed his entire family, like, yo, this is how it's done. And then it was like the floodgates. So the Wayans just started tearing everything up. They was in everything. They was funny as hell. They was writing everything. They was doing everything. And it was like his one decision to be the first person is changed his entire family's lineage. Like, it changed everything.
Guess what? I'm about to bring home something. So, we've always talked about, like, wanting to be better leaders in our family and all that stuff. And you're the Keenan Ivory Wayans of our family. Like, because you decided to say, you know what? I'm going to bet on myself, which means I'm betting on God. And it's just going to be me and God walking this walk. And you're walking it. And now we're talking about, okay, well, how do we plan for me to, do what I need to do? And and the kids are like, literally like, they're not even surprised. They're not scared. It's nothing. It's just like, oh, Dad, I'm happy for you, bro. I remember Sanaya said they're going to school the other day. She was like, Dad, I just want to let you know that I'm really proud of you. And I'm really happy for you for, like, following your dreams and, like, doing what. And I was just like, this is amazing. I'll never forget when we took her to that set that we wanted to shoot at last year, and she cried in the car, and I said, "What's going on?" She's like, "Because it's really happening." And at that time, it made me feel a little guilty and a little hurt because I was like,
"We weren't able to do it yet."
I'm sitting here like feeding my child like the fact that I'm out here trying to pursue these dreams and I'm trying to make things happen. So she knows I'm trying to do something more, and I'm still not able to make this happen, and she's crying because she feels like her life is about to change, and it hasn't changed yet. So it was just that constant feeling like, but letting go of that, letting go of the excuses allows, and the disappointments and all that shit, and the not being perfect and all that, it gives you the permission to write a new book, write a new story, write a new chapter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, like, really start over. And, like, because I let go of that old narrative and I'm starting to write a new one, I'm changing my life every day. I'm more radical about my future every single day. Our vision boards was at the bottom of our closet. If that doesn't tell you something.
Yeah, so was our vision. Our vision was at the bottom of our closet. It wasn't until because what did they say? Even with kids, like, what you see is what you'll be, right? But, like, that applies to adults too. And if we're all children of Christ, right, or we're all children of God, or whatever you believe in, right, then what you see is what you'll be. And so when you see your vision written on the, write the vision and make it plain, you see it on the wall, or if you see it every day, it's inevitable. It's going to happen. Now, not just seeing it. I mean, seeing it with applied work and doing something
strategy
about it. But I'm just saying, like, it's a reason why you gotta see. Like, you need you can't see in the back of your head because that's where your past is. All you can see is the front, like your vision. You can see where you're going. So when you keep turning around and looking backwards, you can't see your vision no more. So you're stuck in the past, and you're stuck, and you're never going to be able to get to where you're going to go. It's no difference than in the Bible when what was it? Was it Lot's wife? Whose wife was it that God said, "Don't look, don't turn around, right? Or you'll die."
You're gonna turn to a pillar of salt.
Which means you'll die, right? So everybody's running for their life, and she turns around and she dies. Sometimes it's like that same metaphor can be applied to you and your dreams and you moving forward. If all you keep doing is looking in the past, you're gonna die without seeing your future and without fulfilling your destiny.
Also, it's about following directions. It's about being in tune with like knowing that when you're supposed to do something, you gotta do it because God is no respecter of persons in some
because they'll get somebody else to do it. Get somebody else to do it.
You might have to pay the consequence for not doing it. You know what I mean? And it's just like when you are given specific directions, don't question it. Don't go back and forth. Just do what you're supposed to do, and then that's been my problem for a long time. I won't allow myself to see what's on the other side of something. I'm generally like in my head so much or so tired or giving myself all these excuses that I won't even allow myself to finish the task to get to the other side to see if it worked or it didn't work. And then the fact that I gave up on it is now haunting me because I feel like a failure about that.
Right.
And it's like, no, it's like, do what you got to do. Let go of the past, move forward, and just do what needs to be done.
Yeah, definitely. I think we pounded in everybody enough. So
I just want to say this before we go. I enjoyed it.
It was great
in my pajamas.
Talking to y'all with this do-rag on.
Because I really didn't care today.
Not having to get dressed.
Man.
We was tired, but we still had to do what we had to do. And we a little behind schedule, but we working out the kinks. We just getting a little bit better each time. I do want to say this too, before we go, that a lot of our friends have been saying that they enjoyed our relationship status series, where I feel like each episode we're talking about something as it pertains to dreams, life, whatever. And so they were like, we really enjoy, what y'all talked about your relationship, love languages, and, how we relate to family and kids and being parents and stuff. So we definitely are going to have something cooking up soon for you guys as it pertains to giving out relationship advice. Not just relationship. Why you laugh? You don't want no advice from me.
I mean, but that's the whole thing. It's like, yes, they want relationship advice.
I guess,
from us.
Man.
Look, okay. I think it's going to be good. And I think it's going to be funny. And it's going to be great.
I feel like I still don't know what I'm doing. So
it's a learning process. Yeah. But you got many years of experience. What I tell you, you got to stop doing that. You've been telling me I have to change my language.
Yes, you're right. I know exactly. I'm about to get y'all right.
All right.
In 2020, I got y'all.
Okay.
For a fee. Because I had to pay the price.
You had to pay the price.
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever.
No, I'll just mess with y'all.
But we'll be giving you guys relationship advice. We'll have some fun stuff coming up on our Instagram. So please follow our Instagram at Another Black Podcast. Well, it's actually at another.black.podcast. But you should find it nonetheless. We're also,
you can email us too at anotherblackpodcast@gmail.com without the dots. It's just straight through. Yeah.
Okay. And email us your relationship questions. If you have any other questions, if you want to give us your feedback about the show, you can also follow me at Tasha Did It on Instagram.
And you can follow me as Joel Armstead. I want niggas to not make it easy to follow me. You can find me easily.
If you put in Tasha Armstead, you can find me too.
I ain't got no creative little special name. I don't want
My
it to
name's
be
been
no
Tasha
mistake.
Did It forever. So,
but I'm saying that you got a little cool, little hip name. I ain't trying to mess nothing up. I need you to find me. Yeah, find me.
All right, y'all.
All right, y'all.
Good night.
Peace.